What's up, F45 fam? Coach Frank coming to you from our recovery room. I just wanted to talk to you about our MasterSpas Chili Goat cold plunge. One of the things that we really liked about it is the Chili Goat's horsepower. At home, if you're using one of these things one at a time, one person, maybe a smaller horsepower motor will be fine. But if we have, which we do have more than one person using them within an hour period, then you need something with a little bit stronger motor like this Chili Goat. Because then it keeps up with the temperature. So every time someone goes into a cold plunge and stays in there for 3 to 5 minutes like they're supposed to, you're going to get about a 2 to 2.5 degree change in the water. So if you got it set at 48, it's going to go to 50, 51. And usually other plunges will have a hard time getting back down to your set point. And if 2, 3, 4 people go through there, then you got a 10 degree swing, and now you're not really sitting in a cold plunge anymore. Now you're sitting in more of a cold bath. So really glad to have this Chili Goat in our commercial facility here at F45 and Anthem. So if after class 4 or 5 people want to do this, only takes 5 minutes. So 15 minutes later, the third person has gone through and the temperature is still where we need it to be at set point instead of 10 degrees higher. So that's one of the things I love about the Chili Goat. It also looks great. It doesn't look like a spaceship or anything crazy. It just looks like a hot tub, which is essentially what it is. It's just a hot tub in reverse, right? So we have the cold water coming through. It is made by a company that's got 25 years of experience making hot tubs. So there's a massive amount of insulation in there to keep my electric bills down and to keep the cold plunge cold. Not only when people are in it, but when people are out of it. We also have a nice cover that came with it, so I do use that pretty often. User experiences have been phenomenal. Everybody loves using these things because of the way you feel afterward. Look, if I'm being honest, nobody likes being in the cold plunge. When you're in the cold plunge, just like most people don't like working out when they're working out. But when you're done, you feel incredible. And the same thing with the cold plunge. You feel great. You have a sense of accomplishment. You feel clear. You feel just sharp for the day. Not to mention, I didn't even know I had any inflammation until I did a cold plunge. I came out and I was like, is that what my knee is supposed to feel like? I guess 42-year-old me doesn't feel like 21-year-old me anymore. But honestly, it did feel 20 years younger after that. I went running and did things like that, and I couldn't believe the motion and the way it felt. It basically felt like it didn't have water in it, if that makes sense anyway. And the time when I really realized it was when I reclined on the chair, and when I reclined on the chair at home, I didn't feel the release that I normally felt from being off my feet. That's because I had relief all day. So anyway, moving on past my personal experience, the members here at the club also love it for recovery, because after their workout, they come in here and they'll do it on a cardio day, and then their joints and their muscles are feeling much better the next day. We even have some people who have had surgery and come in on their doctor's recommendation. And funny enough, one of the members had came out and looked down and said, "Oh, I can see my knee. I haven't seen that in over a month." So, just little things that people really enjoy about it, and I can't believe how well it worked. I'm sorry to go back to another personal experience that I forgot, that I had tore my calf last year. And when I tore my calf, I had just recently got this, so I was using this and a heat pad. So I was doing the hot and cold therapy, and within a month, along with physical therapy, I was back in the gym, and my calf had healed. So the recovery properties are phenomenal. So if you haven't done a cold plunge, one of the great things about it being very similar to a spa but a hot tub, is that the maintenance is similar. It's exactly the same. It has a circulation motor, so the water is constantly circulating just like a hot tub, and then you just check the pH and the chlorine just like you normally would. And one of these little 3-way test kits. You don't want to use one of those tab ones, because cold is not conducive with that. So it's going to give you an improper reading. But anyway, the point is, super easy to maintain. All you got to do is check the pH and chlorine just like normal. And then since we're in a commercial environment, there is a max use before I will change out the water. In a normal environment like your home, you could probably do a time period like a month or 3 months. But here in the commercial studio, there's a certain amount of people that will hit before and then we'll go ahead and change the water regardless of time, even if it's a shorter period of time. So that's kind of how we're able to keep track of our maintenance and when we're changing out the water. It's very easy to drain. I actually use a drop-in electric pump and drain it out to the bathroom right next door to the drain, rather than using the little drain port on the side. It's much quicker that way and more convenient than around the house. So that's how I do that. And then everything in here is pretty easy to wipe down with bleach and whatever else, whatever cleaning products that you would like to use. There is a cloth on the top here. It looks very nice, but I do personally wipe it down after every use, otherwise it stays a little wet because it is cloth. And then I'll keep the cover off for an hour or so it dries out instead of putting it on there and keeping it dampened. So just a little tip on that one. But it looks phenomenal. That same material is in here. The whole thing looks very nice. It does, like I said, that circulating motor is recirculating the water, but what it's also doing is it has 2 ports, 2 jets, one on this side pointing this way, one on this side pointing this way, which is creating a circle in the water, and it's circulating the water around your body. And what that's doing is it's making sure that you don't build a thermal barrier, because the water is standing still, and about 1/8 of an inch of the water around your body will warm up due to your body being 98 degrees. So with this, that doesn't ever happen, and the constant contact of your body and the water doesn't create that thermal barrier. So you get to enjoy more benefits, because the whole benefit of the cold plunge and how it works, if you don't know, is the cold water is extracting the heat out of your body and out of your muscles and out of your joint, and that's how that works. So the higher differential in temperature, the faster the heat transfer will be. So having that warmer water up against you will make you lose less heat, which is less benefit. Having that water hit you and eliminate that thermal barrier is what actually will increase and get you more benefits in a shorter period of time. So that's why it's also better than, say, going in your pool at home, unless you were moving around constantly in your pool, but then you would also be heating up your muscles. So contradictory to what you really want to do, this is the best method for the benefits of a cold plunge. Working with MasterSpas has been phenomenal. Ben and Mary, super easy to get in touch with. Any issues, they were very quick to respond. One of the things I was talking about with them was the drain and what to do with that, and that's something brought up pumping. A couple other things that I had ideas for. He was very open to hearing my ideas and giving me advice on what I should do, and it was phenomenal. So far the experience has been great. The reason that we chose Chili Goat over anybody else was, again, for us, it was 25 years track history of MasterSpas building these things. So I knew that we had support, we needed it, and we also had knowledge. They had 25 years of knowledge on how to build these things. They are exactly the same thing as a hot tub, with the exception of it makes the water hot, or the hot tub. So all they had to do was reverse that process, which they did. The heat pump now goes in reverse and creates cold water, and they even have a nice LED in here, but that's beside the point. But the quality is there, and that's what I wanted, quality. Being a commercial gym, like I said before, we have to have a lot of people coming through, and their higher horsepower motor handles that without any issues. So the benefits was reliability, support, and efficiency, because I've heard issues with other. So that's been my experience with Chili Goat. We love it, and I'm sure if you buy one, you'll love it too. All right, see you around Anthem, guys.